What's up, YouTube? Kedris here. This is my match reaction to Nottingham Forest 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Another L. Let's get into it. So looking at the lineup here at SofaScore, I obviously want to start with the Brighton team. They end up going with James Milner over Ayari. Ayari wasn't even in the team, so that was a creative influence they didn't need to use. And overall, I think for them, performance-wise, it was kind of mediocre. They had spells where they dominated the possession, but watching the match, it felt more like we were letting them have the ball than they were actually like earning it. Now, that might be controversial to say, but I mean, they played through us like a knife through butter, and I was embarrassed to watch it, honestly. We looked like a championship team playing against a top Premier League team, and there's some things that we got to talk about, some things that are not nice to say, some things that are not politically correct, but I'm going to talk about them because I want to and because, well, I feel like I have to. Looking at our team, I will start from the back and go to the front, starting with Sells. Had a terrible first half. The goal from Gomez should not have gone in. He got his hand to it, and it kind of bounced up off of it and went into the goal. His fault. I wouldn't put 100% of the blame on him, but I would put the majority of it, like 55 to 60%. Outside of that, though, once he got settled in, he had a great game, made a lot of good saves, especially a couple of times where Matoma went in 1v1 with the keeper and could have made this game a lot worse. He was able to stop that and save the ball and really produce some outstanding saves. So, yes, he was at fault for the goal, but he also saved like 2 or 3 easy goals they should have scored. And because of that, I got no problem. I think it was a good performance overall. Moving into the fullbacks, Ola Aina. Um, I am starting to get irritated with certain people in the fan base that seem to glaze this guy as if he's the best player on the team or the second coming. This guy has got speed, pace, and the ability to dribble, but ever since he got back from an injury, actually, you know what? Even before that, at the start of the season, his defensive awareness, which I've been complaining about constantly, is not there. It's not there. It's not. And every time he goes forward, you go, okay, well, you get these 1 or 2 times where he makes an amazing ball or he does something good. That's great. But what about the other 30 times where he passes the ball to no one, where he just lets it go into space? What about the times when the ball comes to him and he can't control it and he just lets it go out of bounds? Like the people that are glazing him, he is not even close to being the best guy on our team, first off. And second off, he's been bad for a while. He's got an assist, and that's glossed over the many times where he's been the liability on the pitch, especially defensively. And he had the one game where he came back against Fenerbahce. He wasn't asked to do much, just sit back with Milinkovic and defend. And he was great in that game. But outside of that, he's been bad. And I don't understand why people are arguing with me and not accepting reality that he is not that good. Looking at Nico Williams from D.1, from the first second the whistle blew, I could tell and I said it. This guy's not at 100%. Why? Because he just played on Thursday. I'm going to get on to Pereira because he's at fault. But Nico Williams was at fault or partially at fault for both of the goals. He was not there to cover his man. He was not there to contest the ball. He wasn't even in the vicinity. Luka Netz came on later in the match, and he looked perfectly fine, like I thought he would. He should have started. And this is the thing I was talking about, where we have to rotate. You have to manage minutes. You have to manage fatigue. We are not playing one game a week, guys. We are playing multiple weeks, multiple games in that week. And I just like I don't want to blame Nico because I don't think he should have been out there in the first place, but he was atrocious. Like it was embarrassing. Moving on to center backs, Murillo. Um, he so he had the defensive blunder that allowed Wilbeck to score the goal. He was tight to the man. Wilbeck chested it, brought it down, or didn't chest it, but he brought it down. And then Murillo didn't keep up the pressure. He didn't re-engage um, Welbeck. He allowed them to get space, and that's how he was able to get the shot off that went in for the goal. He is the majority at fault for that goal, but I think Nico Williams also has to hold fault for that one as well because he wasn't there to cover Weaver, and Weaver was the guy that kind of headed it back in. Um, Outside of that, great performance defensively as usual. Great strength on the ball. His passing is becoming more and more erratic. He is giving the ball away for no reason whatsoever. He's just literally just passing it to the guy on the other team right in front of him. I don't understand what is going on with him. I think him and Anderson have had their heads turned, and it is causing them to have a lot of mistakes. A lot. Every single game. And you can go, oh, well, Murillo's our best player. He is when he's not making mistakes. Is Anderson one of our best players? He is when he's not making mistakes. But it seems to be the last month or so, mistakes have been a constant from both of these players in these games that they are playing. Constant. And you can go back and you can watch my watch along. You can go back and watch my highlight videos. I talk about it every single game. Where there's dumb bozo mistakes by these players, and I do not know if it's because their heads have been turned, they've given up, or what. They're trying to fight for a fucking relegation clause. I don't know, but it is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Anyways, outside of that, he had a good match, good performance. I need to clean it up. Otherwise, I didn't think it was too bad. Milinkovic, honestly, Milinkovic was anonymous. Like he did his job. I didn't really think he was at fault for anything. There was a couple times where I felt like he maybe should have done more, but going back and rewatching it, I don't think there was much he could have done. Yeah, he's all right. Moving in the midfield, um, atrocious games from both Sangari and Anderson. The fact that they are scored at a 6.8 and a 6.7 is frankly disingenuous and embarrassing. They both had terrible games, absolutely terrible. Sangare, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe fatigue is catching up or something, but he was not at the races. He was very, very susceptible to the give and go balls. So, like Matoma would pass it into somebody like Gross and then make a run in behind. He would not, for some weird reason, track that run. Multiple times he was standing next to a player, and instead of intercepting the ball that came like really close to him nearby or cutting off that passing lane completely, he allowed it to happen. And I don't want to go too hard on him because he's had a great last month and a half. He's looked excellent. He honestly looked like our best player. But in this game specifically, he was terrible. And you got to tighten that up. And I think that also has to do with the rotation. We needed to rotate him. He was one of the players where I was like, man, he's played a lot of minutes. We need to protect him. Um, but on another player that is very protected, Elliot Anderson gets a lot of praise in the fan base, a lot of support and feedback from the media. I think that he's been bad for about 2 months now. Every player at this level of football has moments in a game where they look really good. What I look for in a good, great, or elite player is consistency. You need to be consistent across the full 90. And up until about January, he was given that. He was consistently good all the time, every minute of the game. He was a great player. And I was like, man, it's sad to see him go. The last month and a half, 2 months, since January basically, he's been shit. And you go back and watch my watch alongs, you can see what I said. He has made a lot of mistakes, And he keeps giving the ball away for no reason. He keeps punting it for no reason. He seems to me like his head's been turned. And it seems to me he's gotten a lot lazier on a lot of things like defending. There are times in the match where I'm watching Williams be 2v1, 3v1, and I'm wondering where the fuck is Cho and Anderson, the two guys that are supposed to be over there helping out. I'm going to get to Cho, but Anderson specifically needs to find that energy. And if he's tired, if he's fatigued, he needs to say something. If he can't perform the job to the standard that he holds himself to, he needs to be honest. Be like, Coach, I need rest. I need minutes. And I would understand. I really would. He's played probably I think he has played the most minutes in the squad. I believe he's played the most minutes in the squad. I'll fact check that and put it in my edits. But I understand. I really, really, really do. I'm very conscientious that he's played a lot of minutes. He needs to step up and say something. Coach, I can't perform at my level. I need to get a break. I need extra minutes. And, you can say that's being weak. You can say that's being a coward. You can say that's not committing to the team. But what that really is smart.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Because right now, at this moment in time, every single game matters. Every single game. And every person who comes to me and goes, well, Kedris, this is the first time we've been to Europe in like forever, so we need to prioritize winning in Europe. Fuck Europe! Fuck it! I don't care how long it's been since we've been in I don't care how long it's been since we've been in Europe. I don't give a shit. I have been with this team since we were bottom of the freaking championship, about to be relegated. I've been to the lows, not even the lowest of lows. I have never seen Europe for my club. And I'm still saying staying in the Premier League is 1,000, no, 10,000, no, 100,000 times more important than progressing in Europe, progressing in the Europa League. And any fan that says that is not the case is an idiot, is thinking about themselves and their own personal experiences over what the club needs to survive, what the club needs to move to the next iteration, to be better, to perform more. I'm just getting tired of being bombarded by other fans going, no, Europe is the priority. Europe is not the priority. It's fucking embarrassing. The Premier League is always the priority. And if you pick Europe over us staying in the Premier League, you're not a fan. You're a glory hunter. That's what you are. Sorry. I had to get that off my chest. People have been barraging me with this European crap. Who was I talking about? Midfielders? I'm done with them. Anderson needs to get the fuck better. He needs to get better. Moving in the wings, you got Hudson-Odoi. I'm done with him. I've been done with him. He needs to be a super sub, and I would never want to see his face starting ever fucking again. He doesn't help out defensively. He doesn't track back. He doesn't pay attention. He sits there on the halfway line when he's supposed to be covering for Williams. Every time I see Williams covered up 2v1, 3v1, I'm like, where the fuck is Cho? And where is Cho? Being a lazy bitch. Every single time. So, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him again. He needs to get his ass on the fucking bench. He can be a super sub. He can cry like a little bitch. He can go to another club. I don't give a fuck. But he don't need to start. I'll tell you that much. Moving on to Hutchinson. Um, I think it was unfair that he got hooked at halftime. I don't think his performance was that good, but he was consistently getting the ball at the pitch. He was consistently providing possession for us in the final third. I like, it wasn't a great performance. He lost the ball a couple times, but to me at least, I didn't think he was the issue. Um, and to me, he wasn't the problem. He wasn't the solution either. But out of all the players on the pitch, he was the one I thought least deserved to get hooked. Although he did play the full 90 at or at the City Ground against Fenerbahce, I believe. And I did say before the match I would sub him early to protect him because his body is like very diminutive for the Premier League. Nothing against him, nothing against short people, short king, all that. But I just, with his stature and the physicality of the demand of the Premier League, I just feel like you need to protect, and you really do need to protect him. Moving to the 10 position, Morgan Gibbs White, best player for us on the pitch, which is never should be said. Should never be said because he's proven that he's not. So the fact that he was tells you a lot. But overall, he had a good game. Like, I saw his kick for his goal. I was like, damn, because it kind of like he hit it, but with the top slice of his boot where the curve is. So it initially went towards the left and then curved back to the right, which is why the goalkeeper couldn't get it. I was like, man, that's impressive. I wish he could make goals like that all the time. But yeah, he had a good game. Good game. Praise to him. He deserved player of the match. It's right here on SofaScore. It says player of the match. I don't know who actually got it in the match, like at the end of the game, but for us at least, he was player of the match. He was pretty good. Looking at Igor Jesus, I called for Taiwo Awoniyi to start. I think at this point we need to accept, even though he did help and assist with the goal, Igor is just not. He's not a starting striker in the Premier League. Honestly, I would like to see him come on as a backup when the center backs and everything are kind of more worn down and tired. I feel like he would actually thrive a lot better in that kind of supporting substitution role. But to start in the Premier League, the answer is at this point clearly to everybody that it's Awoniyi. Awani came on, immediately affected the match, immediately provided the dominating physicality that I love from him. If you don't ask Awani to like do anything except score goals, I feel like he's a good to pretty good striker. Definitely, I think, and when it comes to starting in the Premier League, I think he can do it. You just can't be asking him to do some of the stuff Igor does, like dropping into space and like helping with build up. That's not his game. I wouldn't ask him to do that, but I would say he should start, and we should adjust our game to have him starting. Sue me. That's my thought on the matter. All right, moving on to the subs. I'm not going to talk about them too much because a lot of what I want to say about the subs has to do with the tactics and a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about when I talk about Vitor Pereira. But just to quickly go through, I already talked about Awani. Dan Ndoye came on. He looked fine to me. I think he should start over Hudson-Odoi in the next match. Sue me. Bakwa looks like shit. He can go back to France. I'm done with him. He's an ass player. He can get out of here. Luka Nets, I think he showed his quality. I think he's definitely put himself forward as a starter in the Premier League. He can start, and we really, really, really need to utilize the rotation for him in the Premier League specifically because he's not registered with the Europa League squad. He needs to play. I've been saying this. I saw it when he came on against Leeds. Whereas Luka got a goal in that Leeds match, I was kind of like, he kind of won the ball, but he didn't really do anything. So I had my doubts about Luka from the beginning. That's proven to be correct. I've said from the beginning when I saw Luka Nets play, I was like, man, he's good. He can handle the Premier League. I don't know if he's going to be like a elite fullback like Aina was in his prime, or Nico Williams, like consistently great or very good like Nico Williams has been. But he seems to be, from what I can see, able to handle the Premier League. He needs minutes, and he needs them now, and I expect him to get minutes, and I expect him to get them now. Jair Cunha, once again, good performance, came on. He's kind of put in an unfortunate situation because he was asked to play in a three back when he came on, but the other players around him weren't playing the three back system correctly, which tells me some things I'm going to get into later. But overall, he had a really good performance. I honestly have no problem with Jair Cunha. Every time I see him play, I'm impressed. I'm like, man, like he played right back, I was impressed. He played center back, I was impressed. I was like, he's not the finished product yet. There's definitely some things that he can fine tune and kind of get better at. But I like him. I think he's an impressive player. I think if he's not part of our starting lineup next season, he should get loaned out to get more minutes, to get more experience. He seems to be another one of the Murillo-esque players who are going to be future superstars for us in the club. I hope, and I hope Marinakis sees this. Please don't sell him. Please don't sell him. Man, please. Like, I can make a case for him to start over Milinkovic. I don't want him to, but I can make a case for it. So please don't sell him. Moving on to the manager, Vitor Pereira. I just put out a video giving my love for him, saying how good his interview was, praising him. And then he goes and does this fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like every single time I praise somebody, they always go and fuck it up. I can't, this is why I say the world hates me. This is why I say it every time. Shouldn't have started Nico Williams. I said that before the match, and it became apparent within the first 30 seconds. Shouldn't have started him. Switching to the three back system was a blunder mistake. It was desperation going back to familiarity, and it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because obviously, watching the players and their positioning on the pitch, they are not trained in a three back formation. They do not know what to do. Period. None of them. Okay, maybe Backwin and Doy, kind of. But they didn't know what to do, especially the midfielders. And even if you do change with three back formation, not recognizing that Sangare, whose lack of pace and energy is a trait of his. I love Sangare. I think he's been excellent. But pace and energy are not something that he has a lot of. So putting him in a two-man midfield in a three-back formation was stupid. He should have immediately subbed Dominguez when he made that change. Put Dominguez on. Dominguez, who has the energy and the spatial awareness to utilize this type of formation. So that was another blunder for him on my part. So he made a double fold. He switches to a back three, which wasted about 20 to 30 minutes of the game, where we were trying to figure out where the fuck we were supposed to be. Hint, we never figured it out. And it kind of, to me at least, cost us any chance we had of coming back in the game. He needed to change something. I think the change was to switch from a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-1-1 and change to a 4-3-3. Ask the wingers to press higher, to be on the center back and on the fullback that was Brighton's outlet. Because every time what's his name? Van Hecke. Every time Van Hecke got the ball, he just dribbled past. If you have a striker on him or a winger on him, further up the pitch, he wouldn't be able to do that. So I think the answer was a 4-3-3, switching to a flat back three, dropping Gibbs White deeper to cover those two midfielders in Grosh and Milner, and leave Sangare deep to cover Hinchelwood, have him follow him. So I think that was a gross mismanagement, a gross tactical blunder. Listen, I'm not the authority and the most knowledgeable person. So when I say something, it's not because I'm trying to be a tactical genius. I promise you I'm not. when I say something tactically, it's because it's obvious, to me at least. It is elementary and obvious. Like, it is so apparent that the reason I say it is because I think it's obvious to everybody. Could that be wrong? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't got much feedback on it. I'd appreciate you leaving some feedback. Give me a comment in the comments down below, maybe. But when I say something tactically, it's because to me it's obvious, or to me it should be obvious. Like, there's other things I would change, tweaks I would make that I don't talk about because I don't know if I'm not tactically, in the nitty gritty of it to be confident that what I say in those little tiny tweaks is correct. So when I say something, it's because it's fucking obvious. And the 4-3-3 was fucking obvious. So why didn't it happen? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. Anyways, that was me done. I'm done ranting, done bitching, complaining. We need to look forward. Have Man City on Wednesday. I'll be putting out a preview video for that match tomorrow. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do for the lineup. Man. Because I just don't understand. So let me start again. He keeps using the same lineup because it worked against Fenerbahce, so I don't know if he'll actually change it up to actually be accounting for fatigue and whatnot. Man City are beatable, and to be honest and kind of sad at the same time, Big Six matches are the matches that our players seem to for some reason show up for. I expect I'm not gonna talk about my expectations, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that video out. That's all I got to say about that. I was very, very, very frustrated about the result. Very, very frustrated about what I saw on the pitch. But maybe it was just me. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought, because I really want to know if is it me? Is it just me? Am I seeing things that are not there? Am I advocating for things that are not correct? I don't know, man. I don't know. And I would like some feedback from somebody to tell me if I'm right or not. But hey, got it off my chest. I'm gonna try to provide some positivity in the next video. Try. And I still believe in us. Like I said, I've been here since we were about to get relegated. So I am with us till the end, even if we get relegated. So come on, you Reds.